Clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top. Custom sets, landscapes, got a shop. Tunes drop, make the hobby pop. From vintage sets to modern themes, minifig dreams with studs and seams. Castle walls, spaceship beams. Listen close, hear the gear screams. Connecting fans, yo, that's the plan. Building bonds piece by piece, man. Every episode more than just sand. Confidence grand, bricks in hand. Crazy mashups, ideas flow. Breaking molds, watch them grow.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Shaking bacon.
Bacon is shaking.
I will say I'm not in the intro, but I'm also in the intro.
And you're also freezing.
And I haven't seen the intro since we added the Brick Fair footage.
You're freezing a lot. Heads up.
Me freezing a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You didn't pay your internet bill again, did you?
Nope, sure didn't.
Richard made a new intro. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like I don't have my own thing, but I'm in everyone else's. It's great.
Well, I mean, you only come on like once a month, so
that's true.
Well, we already got a bunch of people in the chat. We got Rob Claxton saying, "What's going on, y'all?" We got Lazy Bricks. We got. He's been waiting here since 4:30.
Who in the world has been waiting here since 4:30?
We got Cascadia Bricks. Andrew's here now. Cajun AFOL says, "Hey everyone, I hope y'all are doing well." And Cascadia says, "Welcome back, George."
Can we pause the timeout right there? I know that like me and Gene have been on this thing the longest together. Who in the hell gave George 2 weeks off?
I don't know.
That's I did not get a request or time off. I didn't get anything except for I'm not going to be on.
It's really not a request. It's more of a notification. I'm not going to be here. Kind of like my vacation at work. I'm not asking. I'm telling.
You're not asking permission. You're just stating the obvious.
Stating the obvious. But I really do appreciate those 2 weeks off. I was going to tune in.
I will say that George is the only person I've ever met that decided it was a good idea to go to Hawaii and get in the water with no sunscreen, no suntan lotion, no nothing, and no shirt. So
yeah, well, that skin's gone. So,
and now he has no skin,
except for two alligator-like patches right here where it burns through the muscle into the bone. But other than that, it's great.
So then we also got Panzer Brick Labs and David C. Krause. Hey.
What is up, everybody? What is up? Yeah, George was like, I'm a little burnt. I had this bright idea. And then sent me a picture, and I was like, George, do you understand the description of little?
Like that color burnt. Kids, don't snorkel in the Pacific Ocean without a shirt on. It's brutal. Yeah, I was going to tune in last week, and we're driving around the island, 2 o'clock in the afternoon over there. I get a notification, hey, Bearded Bricks is live. I'm like, oop, not going to make it.
What's the I guess you could say, because I know that it rained a lot, but what was your favorite thing that you did while you were down there?
Gosh, you're going to make me choose one? Probably laying on the beach snorkeling for sea turtles. That and all the good food we ate.
A lot of spam.
Oh, I didn't touch a single thing of spam, buddy.
Good.
No spam. I have standards.
Spam's a hate crime.
He's still getting over the shrimp that he ate from.
I'm still pissed about that. I made up for it in Hawaii. If you ever get a chance to go, do it. It's freaking fantastic.
I still want to knock out Germany first.
Germany. I want to go back to England. But I did learn that if you're going to take a flight that's longer than 8 hours, spend the extra money and get first class or economy plus or something where you're not stacked 3 wide in a 2-foot space. That was rough. And then they made us walk through first class to get off the plane in Hawaii. Like 32-inch flat screen TVs in front of them, beds that lay down and recline, Bose noise canceling headsets, nice quilted blankets. We're back in the back with like potato sack thin blankets. Good times.
Andrew said Hawaii is 3 hours behind, not 6.
Maybe for him. It's 6 hours behind the East Coast, 5 hours in the Midwest. He must be on the West Coast.
I'm glad you had fun though.
Oh, it was a great time. Did not want to come home.
None of us ever want to come home. My big vacation is still in December. Old Disney World is calling once again.
Well, I can tell you this one's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, but it can't be that much better than Chantilly because me and Caden were in Chantilly.
That's true. See, he's like trying to pretend like it was better than Chantilly, but
Yeah.
we know deep down.
I'll put it this way: you didn't act like you weren't going to Hawaii and then go.
Oh, no.
That is true. Yeah.
Nope. Couldn't do that.
Evil man.
You didn't try to surprise anyone, so it looks like we were more important. No More
I think
said
he just enjoyed
spam
messing
with
with us
Scooby
more.
is so good. I don't even know what that is.
It's spam on top of a patty of rice wrapped in seaweed.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I've had it.
I'll
It's
stick
not
with-
bad.
I'll stick with real food.
Yeah, I was gonna say just eat regular sushi.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Panzer said, darn, that sounds like fun, Rob. I wish I could have attended it too. Hope to be around the NC area next year or two. We got a, oh God, when is that? Not next weekend, but the weekend after that is my last show of the year in Bricksboro. So that'll be the last Battle of the Bulge showing before it is taken apart.
Yeah.
I have not done much down. Actually, I'll be honest with you, everybody. I haven't done anything down here in the basement in about a week. I ran out of totes and never went and got any. Ever since last Thursday, I've had something to do just about every night. I went to a concert. I went out to eat Friday night. Went to a concert Saturday night. Done our thing with like family Sunday. Monday night, came home from work and spent with Haley because last night I went to a concert, and then tonight is tonight, so I have not done anything.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, between wedding cake and all the other stuff in between, I was busy for many weeks in between, but I'm tearing down Hacksaw as we speak.
Lazy said you're not taking it fully apart. I haven't even none of it's apart. I've got to display it again. Everything I've been showing in the pictures and the videos of me sorting is all my extra stuff. I did find I found an order from finally went through the box from Brick Fair that had all the stuff I bought from everybody there.
Yeah.
I had 400 1x10 dark bluish gray bricks.
You should see some of my parts bins now.
Of small stuff or big stuff?
Yes.
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 George needs a lot of stuff if you can send it to him.
Light bluish gray, preferably.
I was going to say his dark bluish gray 2x4 table could do you some good.
I don't know how much
dark bluish gray.
I don't know how much more filler brick I need.
Filler? You're gonna use dark bluish gray as filler brick? That's crazy.
I wouldn't do that. I don't even remember what color that blue was I bought from Renee now.
Turquoise.
Turquoise. That's it.
I do think people always give me crap about using coral as filler brick. I'm like, I'm not using coral for anything else.
Right. What else are you supposed to put it on?
Yeah.
Lazy
Yeah.
said, "Bruh," but to be fair, I can't say shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't taken
Facts.
anything apart. I still have one more time to display it, so I've left it all together.
Well, like, so when I got home, I had 2 more vignettes to build. So I had to turn around and build those. Finished the Korean War one 2 days before the show. Got home from the show and was immediately working on Wedding Cake. That was last weekend. Was sick the weekend after. So have just started the process. I've already taken apart 12 or 15 landscape plates. But
Now, when you do it, do you go ahead and do it by like color and piece, or you just do it by color?
so in front of me, I have pick-a-brick cups for each size filler brick, and then I have Stanley little bins for every part in dark tan and reddish brown, and then I've got 2x4 bricks and then standard plates behind me.
So you break it down completely.
Yeah.
This is Wednesday. You build and you sleep.
Yep.
See, I've got one more show, but I'm not taking. It's gonna have to wait till next spring now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the vignettes are kind of nice because that can kind of just be what I jog around with. But between that and then I still have the castle to take apart at some point. But I've got to get started on builds. I've got 4 or 5 more vignettes in the pipeline, theoretically. My big build and then our big collab. So,
Well, see, I'm supposed to be building the vignette for the Iwo Jima.
Atlanta. Okay.
The Fallujah, I've technically got all the American people that I need.
Yeah.
I need some Taliban.
Some Terry's.
Yeah. And then I've started digitally coming up with a bunch of stuff. I haven't started the church yet because I'm just going to retake my church. I will say that there will be 15 different custom pieces in the church, and they're already made. I just haven't showed anybody. They are.
You haven't showed any. Why haven't I gotten a picture?
Do you want to pick? It's pretty simple stuff. To be
I'm
honest,
always
though,
your secret admirer. You send me all kinds of random shit.
You need to. I don't have anything other than the render, and I don't know if I'm like supposed to show that to somebody. But I need to send you the window pieces I got to see if you want any.
The like warehouse window pieces that you were sending me?
No,
Okay.
the stuff for the church.
Okay. I was gonna say you sent me something and I was like, no, I'm good. But I don't remember what it was.
I don't know what I sent you either.
Yeah, I will try to. I think if between now and January I can get a solid chunk of my big build, which I haven't yet announced. I'm hoping to announce that in the next week. And then my collab started that I'm gonna try to do. If depending on. So, I know I had an idea for the Sherman, and I was like trying to think of ideas for the 155, and I'm gonna play around with some other ideas, but I might try to if I stick with the Ewo idea for the Sherman, I might try to do that one before Atlanta, because then I'll have 3 for
That was
Ewo.
one of the things I was going to ask you on here. So me and Arms in the chat too. We all talked about it. Are like, what's going on with Atlanta? What do I need to do? What?
I don't know. So their website is weird. Like I went on there and found because you have to find the alternate page for tickets to not find the public tickets, and it's like $75 for the exhibitor pass, which is not terrible, but there's no, at least on at face value, there's no mock registration. You just tell them description of what you're bringing and how much space you need. So I'm trying to figure out if I need to just be I have 14 vignettes and I need 16 feet of space, or if it's like I have 16 builds, each of them needs a foot by a foot plus space for. Because like I could put the plaques
technically
in front
mine
of
and
them.
yours can be added together, couldn't they?
What do you mean? Like snap together?
No, like beside each other.
I mean, to an extent, yeah. The way that I've been displaying them, I've had like each one, and then directly next to it, like spacing between that one and the next one, is the display plaque, so you can kind of like.
Yeah, like the Beyond the Brick video.
Yes, similar. Yep. So if I take all of them to Atlanta and I finish the other two before then,
Panzer said description Brix size
yes.
Yeah.
I'll have. Oh boy, what? Civil War, 2 World War Ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 World War II, Korea, Vietnam, plus the other 2. So I'll have 12 vignettes in theory with me at Atlanta.
ACOB is in the house and says, "What up, boys?" or "Evening, boys. What is going on,
dog?
What is
How-
up?"
How was the event at the Marine Corps Museum?
It was pretty cool. So if for anyone who's ever been to that museum, when you walk in and you get past security, like you're in this kind of just massive like open gallery. So we were set up displaying like right there, like right in the middle of the museum, and there were probably about a dozen of us from 3 different lugs here in the DMV, and we kind of segregated for Maryland and Virginia. So me and the other member from Charm City, we alone were 4 tables. Granted, I was 3.5 of that.
So when you yell
Our
at
original
me, when you yell at
allocation
me about Brick Fair, it's really just you everywhere else.
No, let me explain. So our original allocation was 5 tables. Well, what they didn't tell us was that these are like 4-foot folding card tables.
Ooh.
Not what we're used to in like 8-foot, convention tables. So I think we ended up on 17 tables. And so it was really cool. We all had a good time. Like it was a super chill kind of event. We all got to hang out. A bunch of us went and walked through the museum a few times, but we had a lot of very positive feedback. And like not even just from like patrons of the museum, but like even the active Marines who were there, the people who were like the people who were like running the museum and everything, like we're all very appreciative, but also we're like very impressed by a lot of the stuff that we had. So it was cool.
It's got to be cool to display somewhere like that.
It's on my bucket
Yeah.
list, so.
Yeah, it was cool. And they have like, so No More Bricks just said in the chat, we ate at the Ton Tavern. So the Ton Tavern, they have like a cafe restaurant in the museum designed after Ton Tavern. And so I think it was Saturday. Most of us went up there for lunch. And for museum food, it was actually pretty good. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm looking forward to doing that again, hopefully sometime.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that. I don't think there's anything like that down here where I'm at.
Drive up here.
Yeah, it's just that easy.
It is. You get in the car, you start it, you hit the pedal on the right, and a few hours later, you're at the Marine Corps Museum.
Well, what about the pedal that I have on the left?
Well, you don't use that one unless there's a Prius in front of you. And then you press the right one harder.
Yeah, but what if I have 3 pedals?
Well, I can't say that word live on stream, so.
We're 15 minutes in. You're good.
No, I really would love to do something like that, but I'm just not. I don't know. This year, I feel like I've done a lot. Work's going to be like doing some things here soon.
Mm-hmm.
So lately, I've been trying to keep like a low profile I've got a big vacation in December, and then I have that Friday of October 10th off for the Bricksboro.
Yep. Yeah, no, I feel you. I know we're in the process of potentially putting together a tentative date for a similar style event for next year. When we have an idea, I'll shoot the details your way, and if you want to come up, just let me know. I got a hotel 5 minutes away from the museum for like $100. Like it was not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Just send you the Cash App, and you'll send me the money to go up there.
Sure. Yeah, you can pay me to let you just play there. That's fine.
That's what everybody kept saying in like Chicago. They're like, "Why don't you come to Chicago?" I'm like, "Why don't you pay for me to get to Chicago?"
Yeah.
But if everybody that wants me to Chicago go to Chicago chipped in like $20, I could probably go to Chicago.
Dude, I was on another podcast last night and we were talking about Chicago, and I was like, I've been going to Chantilly long enough. Like, I went to Chicago once and I was just like, I have no reason to ever go again. Like, I'm sure I will at some point, but like, if World War Brick continues to happen, which I guess we'll see about next year, but it's like, I'm definitely not doing the back-to-back again. And honestly, cutting those 2 months off of my my build time is kind of rough. Like, especially next year, which, I mean, most of you guys know what I'm building for next year, but the grand populace is not. Like, I'm going to be in rapid teardown mode after Brick Fair next year because I'm going to need as much time as humanly possible to build that mod.
It can all be done, Caden. All you have to do is quit your job, don't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep's overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ignore my girlfriend. Yeah.
You don't need to do any of that.
Survive in my
Girlfriend?
basement. What?
You have a girlfriend?
I sure do.
I'll be damned. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that just spiffy?
That's probably why I'm just now tearing down Hacksaw.
Ah, that explains a lot of things over the last
Yeah.
2 months.
Don't blame her live.
Wedding cake.
Yeah.
Wedding cake.
Now, wait a minute. The last guy we had on here that had a girlfriend ended up getting married and leaving the stream.
Well, that won't happen. I'm not on here enough for me to like leave the stream permanently. I just would come back after a tenure.
Panzer said Eric is encouraging me to go to Chicago with him. It's like 99% confirmed at this point.
I mean, it's I'll put it this way. It is a show you should go to at least once. Like, go and experience it as it is. Realize the Brick Fair is better, and then just never go again. But yeah, there's definitely people who share that sentiment, and there's people who just live and die by Brick World, which, I mean, hey, more power to you. It just wasn't the vibe for me.
Like I said, I'll make it eventually.
Yeah,
I'll make it to Brick World when it's called Brick World, North Carolina.
there you go. Well, there's so many shows like between June and July. Like Brick Rodeo's on my list of shows to go to. There are some other ones in like late May that they all kind of fall within those few weeks of each other. So what?
I would really like to go to Brick Slopes
In Utah?
Yeah, but that's way far out there.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Andrew said if you register for Brick World Chicago late, it's $250.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, and I'm pretty sure the hotel block was sold out about 14 hours after it went live. So
yeah,
good luck with that. But no, Brick Slopes I think is always like the weekend of my birthday. But I would 100% do that one year. Fly out there with some vignettes.
Sandwich Jones says, "What's your favorite show in North Carolina?" So there's Bricksboro. I do not like Brick Convention, and then there's Brick Universe. Brick Universe is like my home show. That's always going to be my favorite. But Brix Burrow, in my opinion, since it's our lug show, it's at a science center. People there aren't necessarily like they're wowed by the Lego, but they interact more, they talk more, they question more. They last year I just set up the church there with a couple of tanks because that's all I had, and there was a kid who spent like 25 minutes talking to me about like basically his knowledge of World War II.
It was.
Yeah, well, he was actually pretty knowledgeable. He could sit there, and at the age as young as he was able to tell me every single tank that I had, and with the camo scheme, like where they, because I just had tanks out. And like,
George, you remember Yellow Shirt Kid from World War Brick?
Oh God, yes.
Oh goodness.
I think we all have to have a yellow shirt kid at one point in our Lego career.
What is that?
That kid. Yep, go ahead, kid.
So young kid, by all means, like, super cool kid. I'm setting up at World War Brick this year, and they banished me to the back, but I'm sitting there setting up vignettes, and I put out the first couple, and I think he was talking about the Bougainville vignette, and he came up and he's like, he's holding this rifle wrong, and I was like, okay, and he's like, why do you have him holding it like that? I'm like, well, because the sling, the custom slings don't, like, the way that's meant to look like he's holding it, you can't connect the hands all the way. And he's like, well, it's a good thing at least you have a reason. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, get out of here. What do you this kid's like 11 years old. I'm like, I'm about to put this kid across the warehouse. But, and I don't remember who, I think Cameron like walked over as this was finishing, and he just kind of looks at me. He's like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't even know.
That's about like the kid telling me that, or the grown adult, asking me why that I displayed Bastogne in March this year and didn't have the Germans in Bastogne attacking. And I was like, the Germans never really made it into Bastogne once America was there. And he was like, yeah, they did. That's where they fought. I was like, no, it's not. The buildings got bombed, but we were there with the civilians.
Yeah. It's K today just said, wait till kids go up to Caden and ask him why he has a drill out.
Yes.
I think I did actually end up using that plate.
I know you did, because it's a really great idea.
I think it's in the Chosen Reservoir vignette.
Because it's a really good idea. You can run lights through it very easily.
There's not even any lights. I just needed a 16 by 16 plate, and I didn't have it anymore.
So the reservoir's not going to hold much water, you're saying?
Yeah, facts.
I will be playing with a bunch of lights in this mock, so there will definitely be some drilled lights.
My next big build after Hacksaw will be completely lit up like Mount Ye was, and there will not be a single drilled hole in the entire mock.
Well,
because I'm just built different like that.
Hey, everyone has lame whatever. They just do
has
things.
What?
I said everyone has their own like lame ways.
Their own lame ways?
Lame, Lame.
Yeah, lame. Like not cool?
Yes.
Uh-huh. What's lame about following the rules, Richard?
So you're going to follow rules?
Yeah.
What rules are you going to follow?
The rules of Lego.
So every technique you're going to show here in a minute is a proper connection. The slings that you're using that are non-Lego on a non-Lego gun on a non-Lego minifig.
They are Lego minifigs. What do you mean?
So Lego produced them?
Produced the plastic molded part? Yeah.
All right. So what was different about the Lego produced part than how you're using them? Because you did something custom to it? Guess what drilling a hole in a plate is?
Hey, guess what? Your logic is very flawed.
No, it's flawless.
You like that, don't you? It'll be okay, Caden.
Arm just goes purest elite propaganda.
I agree with Arm.
Can we get Eric to print us some like Uncle Sam?
Yeah, I need a brick badge.
Banners. No, we need it to be like an Uncle Sam banner, but it's just Caden's face on it, and it says "Do Lego the right way."
We need you for purest elite propaganda.
You need to X out the right and just say my way.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
it
I
only
don't know.
makes sense if it's altered if I do it.
I don't know if there's any. Actually, no. That's not true. There's definitely one of the pictures I sent you that is not legal at all.
How many pictures did you actually send? Because I've got
I think I sent like 8. I think the first 4 are
I got
other
9.
mocks. You have 9. I think 2 of them might be the same mock.
Yeah, 2 of them are the same mock. One's a close up picture and one's far away of the whole thing.
So
The
you
one
just
with
show
snow on it?
the one that's the whole thing. So I think it's 4 mocks that I found that I liked and wanted to talk about, and then 4 of my older ones to talk about how I do terrain. Since I don't have any like nice pictures of big builds. I mean, I could have sent you the like dad's photo studio setup of Mount Ye from last year. It was like everyone's seen that build enough times.
Yeah, nobody really cares about that.
Yeah, especially Richard.
General Tron says, let's not get too purist versus non-purist. May the best beard win. Well, 3 out of the 4 of us have facial hair, so I think we win.
I have facial hair. You just need a microscope to see it.
Okay.
It's there.
Right.
Whatever you say, Caden.
One of these times I'm going to show up with like a deep fake filter, just have like the longest beard possible. Or get like the Fu Man stash.
That's what you need.
Fu Man. I could rock a Fu
I
Man
had
stash.
my camera at Brick Fair VA. Could have taken some good ass pics.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some flex tube and I'll build a Fu Man stash that like techniques around my face.
Just make sure it's Lego Flex 2. Don't be using any of that third party stuff.
No, the third party stuff's all in the trees on my castle.
Yeah, once again.
No, I ordered so much flex tube to pick up at Brick Fair. It's not even funny. But I think the only other like not purist part I have down here is I have 3D printed Travis bricks in trans clear to put lights in the tanks.
They make those in trans clear now, don't they?
I was about to say they make those.
They didn't last year when I was building Mount
So
Ye.
I will say 100%. Like just like we're talking about techniques. Anybody that I know that right now with Lego taking down some stuff, it's not all there. But anybody that is building things and needs like certain pieces in clear, you might want to take a look because Lego has released a ton in clear and a ton in trans light blue.
Okay.
I've been buying pieces like crazy. The 1x2 curved slopes.
Yep, I've got a ton of those.
Blue and trans clear, and I bought a crap ton of them.
I'm thinking of the headlight brick and trans clear, not
Yeah.
the trap.
No, those I have a ton of those. I needed the Travis brick, the studs on all sides.
No, but if I'm not mistaken, they make a Travis brick in trans clear also.
They might now, but they definitely did not last year when I was building Mount Ye because I had to get one of my lug mates to 3D to design, scale, and then print me like 4 of them with enough clutch power to hold on all the explosive parts.
Explosives.
Explosives. I like playing with explosives.
So with we can get into this technique thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
But first, Gene, you want to go ahead and show what you have?
Sure, we can do that.
Gene has some separate stuff first, and then we're going to let Caden first talk about parts and what parts you need to have in your repertoire.
Your repertoire.
Your repertoire.
In your arsenal.
So we can get it to share.
Arsenal sounds better.
Arsenal. Arsenal's a little different.
So a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about sorting and storing Lego. That was the topic, and one of the things Richard and I talked about was some 3D printed dividers that we're using. And apparently we have people that watch this show on a regular basis that are interested in that because we got contacted by one with a lot of questions and another one with just a few questions. So I figured I'd show kind of what's going on. Go to right. So if you're into acro mills, which most of us have acro mills somewhere, you know, on the back of the unit, I hope you know, there's 8 of the dividers for the small drawers if you're using small drawer acro mills, and there's 4 of the large dividers on the back of every one. That's what we pretty much used for the first 5 years. We made it work. Sometimes we'd have to mix colors in it to make it work. But when we did this last expansion, we thought we really have to organize it a little bit more to make it faster. So what we talked about was modifications to it. Now, some of these are kind of available online. Um, this is similar to what was available online, but the one online is too wide across the short direction and too long across the, I'm sorry, backwards. It was too long across the short direction, too short on the long direction. So it wouldn't stay clipped in to these little things that Acromills puts in the drawers. So we took this one, took it into 3D modeling, did some stretching on it, recessed this peg that holds it all together. And this is what we call a plus. And it's real convenient. You can see, like here, we're sorting torsos. And it lets us put 4 different torsos in the same drawer and be able to, use less drawers, but easily find them. So that was number 1 modification. Number 2, there's half height drawers, drawer dividers that are available. You can download the STL files, but they're a little bit weird. When you start to use them, the height of them's not quite right. And so this bottom one was too short, and it was down below this peg that sticks out on the acro mills. So when you put the top one on, it kind of rocked. It didn't sit flush. So again, took the STL file that was available, took it into 3D modeling software I use, stretched here, stretched there, and these work. So we've got 4 dividers on bottom, 4 spaces on the bottom, 4 spaces on the top. I made a modification of it that has 8 on top. Totally useful. It's just too small of a space to store anything worthwhile. And then these are readily available. You can find these on all the STL sharing sites. They're stackable dividers for the small drawers. But again, we had to tweak it because they don't really fit just right. It was a decent model, but just not quite right size-wise. So this is what we call a 2 bottom. It's a two slot for the bottom. It's got this fin that sticks up on it. Well, that fin fits into this on the bottom side to lock them together. So this is a 2 top. We also have a 4 bottom with the fin and a 4 top with the fin, and they're interchangeable. You can put a 4 top with a 2 bottom. You can put a 2 bottom with or 2 top with a 4 bottom. But the other thing you can do, I tweaked this one, made it just a little wider, so you can actually now have no divider in the bottom, and this one will sit on this narrow little ledge that's there. The guy that did the original had it really close. It would almost sit there. It didn't take much at all. So here's how they look together. 2 bottom, 2 top. You can see we got 4 different things in that drawer. 4 bottom, 4 top. You can see we actually, these are mixed, but they're divided enough that we can find them easily. And then this was the one that was probably the game changer for us with minifig parts. A guy contacted me through Facebook, and he had designed some dividers like this for legs and for torsos. And he wanted me to try them. He wanted me to try to print it and try it in our Acro Mills drawers to see if it would fit. And we did. The torso one's useless because when you put torsos in one, if we go back and look at the torsos, I mean, the arms are so wide, you can't really get too wide in a drawer if you've got them in a divider like that. So the torso one was absolutely useless. The leg one was a kind of a cool concept. It had little slots in it like this You could slide the legs up in, but the problem is you could only get 3 legs on each side of it, and then they didn't stack very well. So we deep sixed that one. But what we did is we took what we learned from the way he did it, and we created this one for heads. And I know Richard's using this one a lot too. You can slide 6 heads into each slot, and I hollowed out the back of the container. So on double-sided faces, you can see the face on the front, flip it over, you can see the face on the back without having to roll the heads around.
I actually used that from where I buy heads for all the military figs so far. It makes me be able to keep different from like American soldiers look one way, German soldiers look another. So that's how I have them stacked in there, and it lets me basically when I'm ready to put a minifig together, I can pull it out, look and see just in the stack of which head I want versus shuffling through all of them.
And it's really kind of cool. You get 24 heads in each one. You can get 3 high. See this? We got 2 of them high in here. We can still put another one in there, and there's one in the back.
I do need more of those whenever you get a chance.
Yeah, I can print some tomorrow night.
Maybe.
Tori says maybe she's in the last of the torsos, and she's got me printing stuff like 24/7.
I don't need them anytime soon, so do whatever y'all need to do.
Okay.
I still need to give you the money for the rest of the stuff.
I'll take it out in dinner.
Let's do it.
But anyway, the whole point of this was we had a guy that was real interested in a guy named Walker that's a regular show watcher. And so I wanted to show him so he could see what it was and just throw it out there. If anybody needs these, and you have a 3D printer, let me know. Contact me. I'll shoot you the STL files. I don't need anything for the STL files, but if you want them printed, that's another animal. So that's what we're doing.
All those do work. I do use them all. I don't use any of the stacking shelves, but
yeah, it's honestly a game changer. It has really changed how we store stuff. It's made it a hell of a lot more efficient.
if you'd did what I did and just started with that first, you'd have been all right.
Well, if I had a friend like I was to you, I could have.
Well, I didn't start really sorting until I guess now.
Right.
I still have to figure out something. I don't mind these bins down here that have all the bigger parts in them. I just at the same time I want to do something different. I'm not sold on the way it is, but it works. But
Jordan's background just got better looking.
George, if you actually wouldn't mind going and getting her something to drink and letting her sit down, it would be so much nicer.
Okay, so George's wife's here. My wife's
thank
here.
God.
Nah.
Oh, now it's getting messed up again.
Yeah.
But,
I'm gonna go eat.
Caden, what's some parts that are an absolute must
Stop it.
when coming to build terrain? Did I
So,
throw up a picture that you sent to?
yeah, if you want to, the first one, the one I sent you 2 pictures of, if we want to throw that one up.
Because these are not in the same order that you sent them.
Awesome. Well, whichever one I sent you 2 pictures of,
Yeah, let me
put up that one.
Brother.
Or one of mine. I don't really care. It'll be easy enough.
Rushing over to stuff.
that one.
Yeah. So this is Scout Trooper Bricks on Instagram. So with landscape or terrain, I guess in general, because terrain kind of encompasses all natural features, right? Terrain is going to include landscape, rock work, like waterways, right? All of that. So it really depends on like what kinds of terrain features you're trying to include when it comes to parts list. For me, I have general parts lists for like those different things. And one of the things that I've started integrating a lot more recently is slopes. slopes were always kind of weird because it made it difficult to pose minifigures on, right? You're creating these very large elevation gaps in a very small space, and they limited your amount of studs, but they help break up like the lineality of just building landscape with plates. And so I think slopes have been a great addition, especially to mine in the last year or so. But like all in all, the largest piece that I use on the surface is like a 2x2 tile. Like everything is smaller than that. Wedge plates, slopes, like the curved slopes, tiles, plates, all of that. And so like even like looking at this picture, right, we have probably 5 different colors, right? We've got rock work in the gray. You see a lot more of like the wedge slopes and stuff with that. But then you have wedge plates, right? You've got a lot of slopes around the edge. But the way that the terrain all kind of flows together, right? And like blending those colors, having the same range of parts in all the colors that you want to use helps to blend stuff together. Because if you're using, like in my case, right, we'll say dark tan and medium nougat. If I'm building with my massive collection of dark tan, but a very small collection of medium nougat, and you are building in a style with one that you can't facilitate with the other, when you try to blend them together, it looks very broken. And so having the ability to use the same range of parts across all the colors you want to use helps to mitigate that, right? So like you can see in this picture between the white and the tans, right? It's a lot of very similar pieces. I think one of the biggest things with snow work, and we had a lot of conversations about this, Richard, with Bastogne, is curved slopes and tiles are like king when it comes to snow, especially for the essence of like untouched snow, right? So where he has a lot more of the sheer slopes and plates where the tans are, he has a lot more tile and curved slopes where the snow is. And so it breaks up those additional angles as well. And that's like landscape like this is not what you sit down and build the first time, right? It takes a long time to kind of figure out how to blend it together for yourself because everybody builds terrain differently. But like this was a prime example I found today of blending those colors together and utilizing those same kind of part ranges to help facilitate that style of terrain work.
Another thing that I don't think that you said is one of the things that I learned from Caden and just looking at people's mocks is if you look at this, the bigger pieces like the 1x3s and stuff like that are used in almost all the terrain. But anytime you look at the rock work, especially in this one, the rock work uses bigger pieces because with any kind of like rock formations, there's definitely bigger sections.
Yep.
And I learned that by, like I said, looking the way other people do things is, so if I will not use like this mock has maybe on the sides to show like the border, but where he has like 1x3s in the mock, I've never used anything that big. I've always used smaller pieces and saved anything like 1x3 and bigger for the rock work.
Yeah.
But
so I will say that the 1x3 slope,
that's the close up view.
Yeah, so like you can also see here too a lot of builders, and I've played with it a little bit over the years. Play with the idea of connecting a 1x2 plate to a stud on one side and have it sit one stud deficit lower on the other side. So you can create like sloped angles utilizing plates, and they're still attached for the most part. So like right above where your cursor is right now, just to the right of that cheese slope is a plate that's attached on one side and not on the other. So it's more or less held there by friction, but it's creating that alternate it's creating kind of those alternate lines, especially because like on all the slopes, right? The slope of it is smooth. So you're creating those same angles of the slope, but you're introducing studs. So it helps the the visual Lego effect of it flow more. But I will say that the 1x3 slope, I had not used en masse in terrain before this year. It is probably now one of my favorite parts to use for terrain.
Really?
Both in even just straight up building, but also in like playing with snot, because you can do so much with it. Because I also introduced 1x3 curved slopes and 1x4 curved slopes as well. And like, yeah, they take up a lot of real estate. And so you're kind of leading into that like pattern for however many studs it's going to cover. But you are surrounding it with much smaller pieces. So like I'm using 1x1 T slopes, 1x2 slopes, 1x3 slopes, and then 1x2 curved, 1x3 curved, and 1x4 curved. And so like you have a lot of size variation, and because the angles are different, right? You could put two right next to each other and they're going to be different enough that they're going to kind of change like that equilibrium of it. And especially when you start blending that in with wedge plates and everything, you get to play even more with like breaking up those straight lines.
I mean, this right here looks really good. There's certain things that I necessarily don't like about it, like right here, the quarter tile, where it's like flipped upside down.
Yeah,
I don't really like that because I know that's just sitting there.
I definitely don't do that. There are people who very much enjoy kind of having those alternate aesthetics. I am much more of I want to build it sturdy. Like I may have a few loose parts that are meant to be, rubble or something like that. Or I've done it with footprints before, but because he also has a tile at like the 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock of your cursor, 1x1 tile.
Talking about this?
Yeah.
So that's actually, I don't know if this is like that or not. I don't know if this is an actual tile. I saw a build that was basically a space build where a guy was walking on what I assume is like a dirt planet, and it was done with like dark tan and reddish brown mix. And the like half dome pieces?
Yeah.
He took all those, and wherever there was a brick, like he could take away a 1x1 brick and put that upside down. It looked like a kind of footprint.
Interesting.
And you could do it with like, if you would put, I think there was one he showed me where he put a stud and then the 1x1 slope to give it an angle.
Yeah.
It looked good, but they, it's not attached. Anytime you move it or anything else, it's all going to fall.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think if you're building something for, a picture, or you're building something for like a one-time thing, because he also has like pieces of flex tube sitting down there as well.
Yeah.
Like there are certain aspects of doing that can be appreciated. I think for me, it's not my style. I prefer everything to be attached. Now, I have played around with a lot of different ways to manipulate the brick in a means of building in some pretty cool, like angular ways. And I'm going to be trying even more going into this year. But a lot of I think the biggest like turnoff for terrain work is that it's not something that you sit down and do once and it's like perfect.
Also, you mean you have to take apart the whole build like 2 or 3 times?
Well, not even that, but you'll build a small section and you will you might be happy with it, but then you'll see someone else do something that you can implement. And then your terrain is constantly changing and improving. I mean, hell, prior to this year, right? Like my terrain, I've built decent terrain for years now. But this year, I introduced 3 new parts to my terrain list and used them in quantities over 1,000. And they are now parts that will forever stay on that list. And we're all familiar with this arch, the 1x2 Arch. Well, they, I think this year they did the half size one in dark tan, which I have a bunch of now, and I'm gonna try those out and see if I like that. Like that's another potential candidate for my terrain list.
Well, that's another thing too is they're gonna constantly keep adding like different elements.
Yeah.
Like I just found out today, there's another curved element in a set that's not been released yet coming out, and it's like a 2x2 curved slope, but at the end of it, it's a complete circle.
Yep, I saw that. Yep. Yeah, that one looks interesting. I don't know if I would want to use that for terrain as much. But I think if they did it in gray, using that for like stonework would be kind of nice. But because I think like the big ones for me, at least of recent parts that I'm like waiting to see come out in colors that I'll use them. The 1x2 tile that has the 45-degree angle on one side.
Yes.
That part, when that comes out in dark tan, game over.
Is it not out in dark tan?
Not that I know of. I have
I know I bought a bunch of white for the Baston and a bunch of dark bluish gray and light bluish gray.
Yeah, I have trans clear and
I was
olive.
about to say that also came in trans clear and trans light blue.
Yeah, I have trans clear and olive green right now. I bought those to work on the castle. But like there's usually I'd say confidently every year there's like one new part that you can use in a pretty interesting way for terrain.
And anytime like people
It's not out in dark tan yet.
Yeah, okay. It's not out in dark tan yet. I didn't think so.
Star Wars.
It's got the medium tan, light nougat. So if you're doing lighter parts of the ground,
Does it have dark orange?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah, dark orange, dark brown, light brown.
dark orange.
That new light brown.
I don't like the new light brown.
I don't either.
It's kind of
Like the reddish orange. I have a bunch of the new reddish orange. I don't think I'm ever going to use it, but yeah. So that's kind of the like.
So what about this picture?
So this one's far more simplistic simplistic and more intricate at the same time, right? You have a lot more basic groundwork, right? Not as focused on breaking up like the straight lines of Lego, right? You have a lot more just kind of open studs. But playing with angles, especially with rock work, using the ball joints or like bars and clips and things like that, they really give you, there's so many different angle parts now that you can mount just about anything at any angle. And a lot of times creating these like small sub-assemblies and then mounting them in a way to minimize gaps is very difficult. And it's like, this is a relatively small build. It's 12 by 12 studs.
Yeah.
And it's super simple, but at the same time, like it's also pretty intricate. Whereas like I don't know if it's the next one or not.
It's not all in order.
Okay, whichever one, the super bright one, the super bright colored one. That's we can look at that one.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I think the other one that I sent you with the all the like Technic parts.
I don't know. Like I said, they're not in order.
But like this one, you have a lot of interesting parts usage, but they've also like, this is where your building style also comes in, right? Because they have this kind of black base that they're building onto, but then they're building down off of it. So, they're using clips and all kinds of stuff to kind of like overflow. But then, using brackets and all kinds of things like that to really blend those colors up into, this wall, using all kinds of the like trunk pieces for the foliage as well. Because foliage is another big part of terrain, right? Even with like even if you're doing a beach, right? There's still some type of foliage somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's important that like in a lot of sense, like if you just build because it's one of the biggest things with like train displays at Brick Fair, right? Where they just build these like massive 2x4 green hills.
Yeah.
And it's like it's only there to act as a backdrop for the train, but like, populating it with trees or anything, just like elevates it so much more. And like trees, I mean, you could do 10 episodes on just building trees.
Trees are one of the things that I have really learned a lot about this year.
Yeah.
I've got about 10 different styles saved from trees that I build now.
Yeah.
I basically built one in studio, saved the file, and I will say that I don't ever think that there is a wrong way to do a tree. It's really how well you want to build it to make it to where you don't have to rebuild it at every convention.
I didn't have to rebuild. Well, actually, that's not true. Yeah, I mean, there's it depends on the style of tree too. Like I go back and look at the first couple mocks that I displayed and the type of quote unquote palm tree that I had versus the palm trees that I'm building now for the vignettes. And it's like, yeah, they're probably the most fragile thing ever, but they look great. And like, for me, like if my sole rebuilding experience every show is putting a couple trees back together, like so be it.
Yeah.
But like the tree on this one, is super sturdy. Like the way the trunk's built up, it's not going anywhere. And like using that kind of blend of dark brown, like they have these super dark earth tones, but then they also are using like these super light earth tones as well against the stone gray. So you have kind of that like neutral color with the gray, and then you have like both conflicting sides of it, which obviously like, it produces a very like pleasant to look at model.
One of the other things I will say that this mock uses that people in terrain when it comes to any type of foliage, which also, like I said, is a whole nother episode, but it's really like wands have become one of those things where wands are one of the most used pieces that I don't think people realize. Like people use them for iron barred gates. People use them for like window bars. People use them for rebar showing out of a broke building, for grass sticking up. Like, I mean, here they're used for some type of like dead grass, I'm guessing. Yeah. Like there are so many people that use wands in different ways, and they are cheap.
Well, and people use the sprue.
Yeah.
Like people take the wands off and use the sprue for stuff, which is also like, super creative. I mean, hell, right now I'm using wands. One of the vignettes I'm designing, I'm using wands for micro scale flak explosions.
So I have a bunch of wands in as like reddish brown and dark brown as for like dead trees or like whatever, and then I have a bunch in black using iron gated bars and stuff.
Yep.
So that is definitely a piece that
there should be one more that isn't mine. Maybe two more. So can you zoom in down? Yeah. So like a lot of this landscape is slopes, which granted, like you kind of there are people who very much like doing very heavy slope landscape, and there's people who don't. I have kind of tried to blend a little bit of both. I think this looks really good though. Like the intent of the model is obvious with their style of landscape, but you still have those kind of like flat landings with the tiles, with the wedge plates and things, especially where those troopers are there in the center. And so they've created this. It's another reason I do the freeform edging, where you can create your own bounds, right? So you tell the story you want to with your vertical building, and then you build down to the table, and you create, your own kind of geometric edge. But like having this super slopey, blocky landscape against this like pristine, perfect line, imperial.
I think this looks a lot like mud.
Yeah, and it's supposed to. It's
Yeah.
on Mimban, I believe, or something. I don't know. Those are definitely Mimban troopers, but either mud or like a really dark, like soil, dirt style, like ground color. But like the brown scale, especially now, like reddish brown, dark brown, are so like nicely muted against each other that you can use them both in tandem, and they look phenomenal.
He's using a piece in here that I absolutely hate.
Is it the one at your? Yep,
right there.
Yep,
I
right
hate
there.
these. I will that one and the 2x2.
Yeah,
I will throw every single one of them in Gene's pile. I do not like them.
I wouldn't use a part like that for landscape, unless it was solely in grayscale and it was to mitigate a gap in ball joint rock work. That is probably the only reason I would ever use a part like that. For groundwork, I think it just has too like specific of a geometric like silhouette to be able to blend in with anything.
It's got like it's pretty much what you're saying, but like the perfection look of it,
Yeah,
I don't like. And the
Too
little like
unnatural.
swoop up, like I've never seen anything like swoop up like that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, that's a hot and cold part. We'll
Do
go week. It's a hot and cold part. We'll go weeks and not sell any of them, and then all of a sudden we'll get an order, and somebody will order 50 in 3 different colors.
Well, a lot of people use them for shoulder pads.
Or like
Not
cars.
50.
But no, I think
It's K today said it looks like a Mega Bloks part.
Yeah.
Ewok said, I like using classic burps. They are ugly but nostalgic.
that's fair. I mean, the burps are nice, I think, if you blend them in, especially if you're trying to cover a lot of space. Like, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, doing rock work from scratch with all individual slopes, filling space is it takes a lot. But if you have a base with burps and then you kind of like blend them together, you can cover a lot of space very minimalistically. And especially if it's like a background feature too, right? You kind of have that to be able to kind of mitigate a lot of your part quantity there. But no, I really like this build.
This
That's
one sucks.
Yeah, that one does. That's the one that the yellow shirt kid was yelling at me for.
I know. Look how he's holding the gun right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't grab the gun by the barrel like that. You burn your
Yeah.
hand.
No, you sure
Yeah,
would. You
I mean,
definitely
good
aren't
gosh.
holding it out here. Yeah.
I hope that's not a gas and pinch gun.
It
Is
is.
there can you tab through them and see if there's one more that's not mine? There should be. I thought there was one more. Is that
That's it.
Okay, I guess not. There was one I found that I thought I added to the folder. It was terrain all built out of like bright yellow bionicle knee joints. And it was the most interesting landscape I've seen in a hot minute.
It might be something that didn't like convert over.
I'd be
Positive.
very interested to see that.
If I think I saved it. I'll send it to the group chat after we're done. But yeah, so like this one was one because color palette, right, is also a big part of terrain. Because if you're building like if you're building Omaha Beach, right, you're not going to build it out of like green, right? So I mean, people do, but it's you kind of have to go in with an idea, and if you're just building in one color, then you need some sort of like accenting feature, right? So, like for instance, right, the entire wooded area of Bastogne was white.
Yeah.
And so you had your foxholes, right? You had your trees that those browns helped break up all the white. You know, with Hacksaw, it was all dark tan. And so I had the dark gray, I had the light gray for the bunkers, and then I had the reddish brown. And that helped break that up. Like if I just built a big beach and in the entire thing was dark tan, you wouldn't even want to look at it. I personally don't think one color terrain is like the way to go. I think 2-color minimum, 3 is probably like the sweet spot, but it depends on what your primary color is, right? Like generally my primary color is dark tan, so my accenting is like reddish brown, dark brown, medium nougat, and then depending on what it is that I'm building, like you could potentially play into dark orange if we're talking like Vietnam type stuff.
See, I feel that's always like a hard thing to do anyway, because so if you're looking at parts colors, reddish brown to me is always going to be wood. And then like mud would be like the dark brown. Dark red could be used as clay. Dark orange could be used as like dirt and clay. Tan is dark tan. Tan is sand. Dark tan is like dirt. And then medium nougat and all that other stuff can kind of be blended in. But I've always kind of tried to make the colors that I use somewhat make sense.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem when you only use like I don't like using, any kind of time that anybody's building a World War II mock or like the castle, and it's all going to be dark bluish gray, light bluish gray for brick. It's always going to be that. You're going to throw some like maybe sand green or dark green or whatever you want to use for like moss and like stuff like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of it is going to be the grays.
Yep.
So you got to kind of use other things to pop that color. But, like in the castle, well, if I have reddish brown as wood around it, I don't want reddish brown as like dirt. So, it's you have to play to your build also.
Right. And that was like, so the one we're looking at, right, the Bellow Wood build, this was one that like I wanted to use dark brown, but I wanted to use a different accenting color that wasn't dark tan, because virtually every other vignette I had done was dark tan. And so I picked medium nougat. I don't think it was the perfect choice, but I am happy with it. And I think using the tan for the wheat field helps break it up as well. Also considering the fact that the uniforms, right, we've got dark tan for the Marines and then the dark gray on the Germans. So like realistically, we're looking at 4 or 5 different colors. Whereas if the whole thing was dark tan and I had dark tan figures on it, like it wouldn't look good. And so like it's because it also one of the other points too, like it goes back to greens as well. That like if you're using dark tan as your dirt color, right, you have to kind of pick and choose what green you want to blend.
So,
right,
Fuzzy
like the
Ewok
normal
said,
Lego green is kind of rough.
I don't like normal Lego green.
No.
I don't either.
Fuzzy Ewok said, also when building terrain, you have a fun mix of heavy tree line to a mode area in the structures. Lazy Brick said, Caden, let me do Bellawood. You can have any other World War I American battle. Haley said it would give you more time to make cookies, Caden.
Mm-hmm. I have other things I have to build, Haley, unfortunately. And Ian, I already built Bellawood, so I can't just build anything else.
And Jonna said, if you would please quit saying the word beach.
Beach.
I think she beach boys.
Life's a
Not
beach.
the band.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like olive green is probably the easiest one to blend into earth tone. The downside to olive green is that I can't see it which is omega unfortunate. It's a great color, don't get me wrong, but I cannot put it next to dark tan
How do you know it's a great color if you can't see it?
because when I'm
Oh.
using it not next to dark tan, it looks awesome. Like on my castle build next to dark brown, it looks fantastic. But there were some incidents at Brick Fair needing to remove parts from Hacksaw Ridge because they were olive green and not dark tan. Because I cannot tell them apart.
So you need somebody to proofread your mock before you show it.
Apparently, it's happened. I think there. So in Mount Ye, there was. Do you remember the field gun cave that was removable?
Yes.
So on one of the vertical built landscape little chunks that kind of blended the nets up, there was a singular olive green plate built into one of those, and I had no idea. Nobody pointed it out at World War Brick or at Brick World. I didn't find out. Somebody brought it up at Brick Fair, and I was like, I'm not going in and trying to get this out. Like it's just gonna be there.
You needed that yellow shirt, kid. He'd have told you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at least
Sure.
you don't mix it up
he wasn't
with
tall
coral.
enough to have been able to see it. So
What'd you say, Gene?
At least you doesn't mix it up with coral.
That is true.
that would be impossible. Coral. Hold on, I think I have a bin of 1x1s in coral somewhere.
I've seen coral poking out of the inside of terrain.
Yep, you sure have.
That's
Yeah, there's no way you're mixing this up with tan. This is
Oh,
borderline.
it's just a
tan.
reference. It was just a reference to a blunder Drew made on the show.
Oh yeah, no, I still make fun of Drew for coral all the time. Haley, I'm gonna make you cookies. I promise. Well, I said that last year, but I promise again this year.
yeah, and I'm not
Tell you-
coming to
tell
Brick
you what,
Fair.
Caden, shoot me your address. I'll send you a label for you to send us all some cookies.
I gotta try these.
That sounds
things.
good. Or Richard will convince me to come down for Brick Universe in like April, and I'll bring him with me then.
It's in.
Yeah, but that's a long
June.
way. You should come for Bricksboro. That's
Yeah.
like next weekend.
Yeah.
That's definitely not happening.
Brick Universe is the first weekend in June.
Okay. Well, I mean,
normally
if World War Brick doesn't happen, then maybe I'll do that.
you should do it either way because you got a free place to stay.
Except the first
Well,
weekend of June is World War
in-
Brick.
In
Or-
Brick Universe, we actually get a hotel, so it wouldn't be like a
So I'd still have a free place to stay. You just put me up for the weekend. I appreciate it. Yeah.
whatever you need.
Haley says she loves how me and George are matching. We are kind of matching.
Hey, like father, like son.
It's Kay today says,
Oh,
it's Kay today says we can't take the word of a man without a beard when it comes to color.
That's true.
It's
So that's you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, I know what coral looks like. I just can't tell colors that look identical apart.
Hey,
My
I got a friend that builds in Lego, and he's colorblind. And from time to time, I'll get a picture of some parts put together, and he'll ask me which one is which. So I understand.
So you mess with them and you tell them it backwards.
Rare occasion.
Yeah.
I will
that's
say
what,
we've been trying to get George to work on a new mock in some new colors that he's not normal to.
I've got a picture, so of a work in progress.
That's one of the
Special
biggest
what?
reasons that like my overall collection will be sorted by color, and then I will have certain colors then sorted out for like dark tan is the only color that I have completely sorted. Everything else is sorted out by color or by like specific parts.
Everything in mine is color and then by specific part.
Yeah. So like dark bluish gray is not sorted, but I have 6 bins of 2x4s in dark bluish gray.
How is your dark bluish gray not sorted?
Because when I'm building a tank, I need all the randomest parts. So I just dump the whole bin out and go to town. But 2x4s are sorted. Okay. 1x1, 1x2, 1x3, 1x4, 2x2, 2x4, 2x6 are sorted. And then every style of slope is sorted. But everything else is in a bin. All the stuff I would use to build a tank is in a bin.
So I will say thanks to this wonderful person sitting to my right. Everything we have is part and color sorted.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I'll
it
get
would
there.
be a freaking nightmare to try to do a sport.
I mean,
I don't know
eventually
who
the
he's
plan is
talking
to have
about.
the space to do both, to do part and color. But for the immediacy of the situation, considering I build in one color, I only need certain things sorted out in both.
I'm going to tell you now, you're going to need more than a 400 square foot room.
Yeah. Well, my we been discussing the capacity at which I would need to expand in order to do that. The father is not on board with that idea, so we're not getting any bigger.
Well, I started with
Yeah, our
small.
latest expansion took us to 1,300 square feet.
And
Yeah.
we're done. There's no more room.
There's no more room at this
No
point.
more. Nothing. Nada.
Well, I mean, when I was building up until when I started Mount Yay, I was still building upstairs in my bedroom, and I was sharing half the room with my gaming setup. And so I had like 3 little tables in a U, and most of my parts were up there. And some of the like bigger stuff was stored down here in the basement. And then as soon as my brother moved out, I moved into the entire space. But now, I mean, I have floor to ceiling parts on 2 walls and then centralized under my mock table.
It fills in quick, very quick.
Yeah.
Well, like I had, and this just goes to show how poor of choices I make at the yard sale at Brick Fair. But before Brick Fair, I had one of these size drawers, right, of the 1x stud leaf pieces in olive green.
Need to get that off.
These guys
Now
Yeah.
you have
in olive green, and now there's a sizable quantity of them. And it's Richard's fault that I have a similar size bin full of ferns.
Yeah, I asked Caden if he wanted some ferns, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll take some. How many do you not need?" So, like, I took 2 handfuls and was like, "I don't need these plus what I got," and like, I still had a bin full, so I was like, "Well,
Yeah, he just dumped them into a Brick Mania bag, and he was just like kind of going like this. It's like, I don't know, $30. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
I like Richard's weight system.
Yeah, he's gonna kill his goldfish. Be like, $30.
well, I mean, I gave you all of that. I don't have, I can't show that yet because that's not sorted. You'd be amazed at how many like foliage pieces that I have. Like, okay, we're talking about, you see the pieces you have right here. Well, I took the mock off the screen, but the half pin, half axle pieces.
Yeah. Well, I ordered 400 of those special for that mock.
I'll say there's 600 right here, and this isn't what I ordered for the mock.
Yeah.
The stuff from the mock is down in the bin.
Now, I very quickly realized when I was working on that wheat field how fast you go through those things. And I was like, oh my God, I'm glad I ordered how many I did, because Jesus.
All you got to do is easy math. How tall do you want it in stud, and how wide do you want it in stud? Times the 2 numbers, and that's how many pieces you need.
Well, I didn't even know how big I was building it. I literally just ordered 400 of those and 400 levers, and I was like, this will be enough.
I tried to make sure that the wheat field is right, because I hate getting halfway through something and didn't realize I need parts.
Yeah.
Ain't that a
But
pain?
it is very, very time consuming.
I was quite shocked at how well it traveled, because I didn't like tear the wheat field down or anything. Like, I wrapped it very gently with plastic wrap, taking it to the Marine Corps Museum. I think I had to put like 2 axles back on. I thought it was gonna like implode, and I was gonna have to set the whole thing back up. But now coming home, I was definitely a lot less gentle. I have yet to try to set it back up, but I'm also waiting because I still don't have shelves down here, and I keep building things, and I don't have anywhere to put them. Yeah. No. because this table is going to become my big mock table. Granted, my big mock is going to potentially be smaller than I had originally thought, which means I'll have extra space. But the chance is this table is going to be my collab table. But then I've got to build 4 other vignettes somewhere. So,
Well, you've got plenty more 2x4 brick to build another workbench.
that is true. Well, I'm going to need a lot of those 2x4s for my next build. So, it's only like 8,000, 9,000.
Space is a premium, and it goes by fast.
Yeah.
I need to.
I mean, if I start popping out ceiling tiles, I can go a little bit higher.
Get the drill out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start excavating the concrete.
Yeah.
You go too high, and I'll tell you, after a while of pulling orders, your arm's starting to hurt.
Yeah, I need to start labeling the upper drawers because I mean I'm not the tallest human being in the world, and for the ones that only have a certain like small quantity in them, I have no idea what's up there, and I'm like trying to see in there, and of course I have 0 light right here. So the lights down here were definitely not made for this to be a Lego space.
You need a one of those
My
rolling.
electrician, he can put you
library
some new
letters.
light bars in.
I've thought about that. I think at this point I'm just gonna roll with it, and then I'm gonna get some like 360 like spotlight. Like you're gonna walk into a flashbang when you walk into my Lego room when I move out.
Okay, now I'll tell you, if you do change your lighting,
Yeah.
change it to 5,000 Kelvin LED,
Okay.
and then you will be able to tell the difference in those colors.
Or you can get a coal miner's hat with the light on your hat.
I do have one of those actually. I also have headlamps, and I have definitely worn my headlamps down here. I used to have them on when I would paint all my brick arms.
That's cool.
The weirdest thing is when I'm working with like
what there? You painted what?
brick arms,
So you modified?
Back to modified
modified a non-Lego piece. Yeah,
made from Lego pieces.
Crazy.
on occasion.
What's the difference in that and drilling?
He doesn't have one.
All right, next time I'm on, I'm gonna send you a thumbnail picture of me just holding a drill.
Yes. Make sure it's a
Uh,
walkie this time.
Please do, because I'm pretty good with Photoshop.
Yeah. But with newer parts and even with newer brick arms, because they have like that gloss on them, like they're shiny, and when I have a headlamp on so I can see what I'm painting, I have to take my glasses off because the glare, it like blinds me, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
We totally understand that one.
When we're inventorying, I take mine off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
I want to go ahead and show what I brought.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Caden rip some stuff apart.
Hell yeah. It's
But
my
I'm gonna
favorite
let
game.
George go first because I think mine is gonna take a while.
Yeah, I don't have very many. But you can rip this terrain apart when we get to it.
It'd be even better if you show me mocks by people that I know.
Oh, you might know this guy. I don't know.
That's not terrain though. That looks
No,
pretty
well,
sick.
you use this to level out terrain.
Yeah.
but,
The only thing that could be better is if it was a killdozer instead.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Rich,
You've been
did you
prepared.
wash my dozer in hot water?
It's
Do what?
shrunk.
Did you wash that dozer I just built in hot water?
Yes.
It's shrunk.
Ralph Savelsberg built this.
Did he really?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of his ever since I started building in Lego, and this is probably one of the best mini scale dozers I've ever seen.
I don't think I've ever seen him build something that wasn't a World War II plane.
More than the dozer, I really like the city employee truck.
Yes. Oh,
The oversized load.
and the low boy, he did an excellent job on this trailer. But that dozer, that
Yeah, no, that thing's pretty.
that's nice. So here you go, moving some
That is
tan
so cool.
plates. But
That's another
he-
style of terrain. We call that parts dumping.
Yep. This is just an excellent build.
Yeah, that's super clean.
I like the droid arms for the
Yeah.
handrail on the catwalk there. Got a little minifig hand for the flapper on the exhaust.
Got the grill tiles in there for the fan shield.
He's got just about everything.
Oh
And
yeah, those
like
are
you
real
said,
close.
Ralph normally does planes, helicopters, things like
Yeah.
that. But he has done quite a few trucks and vehicles. But this is probably one of my favorite of his construction
I'll
equipment.
say he doesn't bring this type of stuff to Brick Fair.
Oh no!
I only ever see the military stuff.
But and there's the semi pulling it, and that's the European style, since that's where he's from, old Scania. But this trailer just an excellent build. I've tried to do low boys in city scale, it's kind of a pain, but this has inspired me. And then Richard's little city worker truck.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
I mean, it's
That's
4
true.
wide windshield, but it's like 5 wide overall.
I'm saying you put a Dishka in the back and you got a technical.
Oh yeah, instant technical. All right, this was sent to me. Sam, didn't see him in the chat tonight.
I
But,
actually have this same one.
I reposted this the other day. Yeah.
But what was it supposed to be? Saipan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's a nice larger vignette.
Yeah. So
Is
one of
that
the
still
things
considered a vignette? Well,
vignette is a style. It's not necessarily a specific like size parameter. You saying you're going to build a vignette and make it 14 base plates, that's not a vignette.
That's not a vignette.
But this is like half a base plate. That's still a vignette. I will say one of the biggest things that I've started doing, mostly because I've been seeing it so much more, is people doing this like multi earth layer edge work. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. This way is pretty simple. You just kind of are using plates. But I will say I think the biggest thing with this build that bothers me is that the open landscape is flat.
Yeah.
Granted, he has some tiles mixed in and stuff like that, but it is just flat. There's virtually no like depth to it whatsoever. Obviously, it is kind of meant to feel excavated, right? Since you have these fortifications dug there on the left side. But even still, like I think it's a little too flat for me. But I do like the foliage, the using the old like leaf stems and throwing those leaves on. Is a technique that's become more and more popular. Rockwork's not too bad. It's got that mix of snot and upright.
Yeah, there you go. A better picture of it.
Yeah, I do personally refrain from using 2x slopes. I think if you use too many of them, it creates these like big bulky patterns, which I don't particularly like. But I mean, all in all, I liked it. I mean, I reposted. Anything Pacific gets me going. So
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I only
So the one thing that
Screenshot.
stood out to me was the stratification of the land. Go back
Yes.
to the whole view.
I like that.
That was really cool.
Makes me wish he kind of would have put like a skeleton or something down in here.
Sandwich Jones says we need a vignette versus diorama versus mock qualification card or chart.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
telling.
agree.
I'll get right on that. We'll make that the background of the thumbnail of the episode that I have a drill.
All right. Here you go, Richard. Killdozer
Yes.
in progress.
I told George that he has 2 builds that I need. One of them is a Thomas the Tank Engine, and the other one is this.
Well, you're on the waiting list. This has got to get done for the show in Lincoln in November for the lug up there's city layout. They want something destroying downtown. So
Yeah,
I got to get some
buddies in the
correct color
Killdozer,
boards, but
and every time I do a beach landing, there's always a picture that ends up on Instagram of his Killdozer storming the beaches.
yes, perfect. Well, that's all I brought. I'm going to ease back into the show. You can have it, Richard.
I would say first, like always, Lego did a bunch of, I guess, leaks, if you want to call it that. The first F1 helmet we're getting is Lewis Hamilton's. Once again, they're gonna milk this F1 shit for all it's worth. We're getting another Speed Champions F1 car.
Now, wait a minute. Back up. So we're getting a loser's helmet, or did they go back to when he actually was relevant?
I don't know. Nobody knows what it looks like yet.
I don't even know who that guy is, so that's how irrelevant it is.
Yeah, don't lose sleep.
All
over
I'm
it.
saying is, and George is going to agree with this, but if we are getting a helmet, there is some chances that it could be black.
It better be. Open face,
Who's
goggles.
And open up some possibilities. We're getting a F1 car from the AXGP from the movie. Just going to be another Speed Champions F1 car. We're getting some new brick heads. I'm kind of excited about the Monster Inc. one and the Gremlins, the Marvel and Lilo. I still think that they're put into the ground. We're getting the Ninja Turtles brick heads. I don't know if this is just the 4 or if we're getting like Shredder or anything. You know, there's a bunch of characters they can do here. They got Casey Jones. I mean,
April.
April.
Yeah. Our modular building, we know the number, and it's rumored to be a music or furniture store. I don't know. We still have a couple months before something like that comes out.
Yeah.
We're getting another Zelda set. This is the Arcania of Time, the Ganondorf diorama. I did not buy the tree. I probably will not buy this one, but I will be getting. I did buy the Link minifig.
What'd you pay for that?
Do what?
What'd you pay for Link minifig?
I got it at a convention, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure.
So they were pretty cheap last I looked on.
Yeah, they're not crazy. They're pretty well priced. We're getting if they're gonna keep doing these busts and doing everything else, might as well throw Lord of the Rings into it. We're getting a Lord of the Rings bust of Sauron, so I'm sure more are coming.
Interesting.
Next, we're getting this. I have no idea what that even says. Minas
Tirith.
Tirith?
Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith.
Okay.
That was the rumor before the Shire got announced. That was the original rumor for this past year's, and I was so excited. So I'm really hoping they do it next year. Like, it would be hard to do at play scale or to match the scale of all the other ones. Like, I think realistically what they should do is do it in the same style as they did the Coliseum. Like, micro scale, big, round, like played up like it looks like in the picture. I don't care how much it is. I would buy it.
I'd say it's going to be Coliseum scale.
Yeah.
I hope it is, because if it's not, it's going to be expensive.
I hope it's Coliseum scale with like exclusive
figs
that like stand on the display plaque.
Yeah.
And like I would love to see some like printed armor for like the that kind of stuff. Maybe because we got new molds, like we got new helmet molds and weapon molds for both Rivendell and Barad-dûr. Like, if we could see some of obviously they won't bring back chrome. I mean, that would be best case scenario, but like even the metallic silver, like getting new helmet molds for the emblazoned helmets, like, and then the obviously the tree prints and everything for the armor would be sick.
Next up, something that we talked about, didn't matter the money, they're going to buy it. I'm down with this. I will 100% be buying this. It's the Pokemon set we're getting is geared towards adults. It's $650. According to this, there will be 20 retail Pokemon sets in 2026 and 8 promo sets or brickheads. They'll be split into 3 waves, 1 in late February and then 2 more in the summer. The first wave is this one, which is focused on the buildable Pokemon aimed at adults. Summer waves will feature a smart brick similar to Lego Mario, allowing them to battle Smart Play Pikachu's tail has already been officially shown. This is going to be the first set where it's a buildable Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. I'm not sure what this is going to look like compared to like some of the other companies out there that are doing it. I hope that it's good. I will be buying this either way.
Why would you buy Pokemon for $650 when you could buy a Venator for $650 instead?
I mean,
Or
I already have two.
Minas Tirith.
I already have
Or
two
Minas Tirith, yeah.
because I have not really watched Lord of the Rings.
That's
That-
insane.
That's a
You don't
shame.
okay. You don't get to give me shit anymore for not having seen movies if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but you haven't seen like any movie.
That's literally not true. I've seen Lord of the Rings, which is a movie. So by that logic alone, you are false.
Well,
I've also now seen The Goonies, which means I've seen more movies than you.
so what age were you when you watched Lord of the Rings?
For the first time,
Yeah.
12.
All right. You want to know what I was doing when I was 12?
Jerkin.
Playing Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
First mock, I kind of brought some that have terrain. That way we can kind of look at other people's. This is by Dwell27. This was submitted by Sam. Terrain's not really that big of a focus. I think this terrain is perfect for what it is. This is a Back to the Future 3 mock. I wish this was better quality pics, but I absolutely love this. I think him putting the hoverboard outside of the car I think this is perfect.
Yeah. I will say, like, mocks like that where the focal point is something else and using landscape and terrain as a means of, like, creating a base for it rather than, like, because if it was just the train on the table on track, right, like, it wouldn't have the same eye feel
Yes.
as it does when you have that kind of, like, Lego base for it.
Yeah.
Something I can, like, yeah, it's simple, but it's not there to be the focal point.
I mean, I think this is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Like I said, my only problem is I wish the pictures were clearer, but
Yeah.
me stealing them from Instagram and having to resize them definitely didn't help.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
he's definitely using some of the like really big wedge plates, which I generally stray away from. But again, for using it for that purpose, it's probably not a huge deal. I do like that though.
this is the one that
Yep,
George brought.
Saipan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just also brought all the action photos.
I'm behind.
This is by JAAPXAAP. Not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Jab Zap.
Yeah, this is something that I wanted you to look at because, so my opinion in this, the buildings are absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The roofs on this is amazing. I am not a fan of this. This is that like simplicity style you were talking about.
Yeah.
And one of the things I don't like about this is there's not, other than they're using just tiles and not studs, there's really not much difference from the like concrete.
Sure. There's
To
no
the
there's no definition.
No.
I think like in this specific case, I don't think it looks too bad. I do think it would have been beneficial for the landscape to have been either a stud higher or a stud lower than the quote unquote concrete, right? To kind of you're separating man-made from natural.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I like the lime green here. Like, I think if they had stuck with, I can't tell if that's olive or dark tan.
There's both of it in there.
Okay, so I think if they had just stuck with that, I will like the lime green is a nice accent color. But I do also think it is like it might be a little much because if they muted it more, right, it draws your eye more to the roof. But I don't hate it. Like it's that simplicity part, but it is also freeform. So it kind of like it bounces back and forth. Obviously, I think the definition is a lot better towards the back, where the grass or the landscape is much lower than the concrete pad versus the pathway up towards the front.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's terrible.
My favorite thing about this is still this curved roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing.
The purple and gold is very eye catching.
Very nice.
Very
This is
nice.
Milo.
Oh,
One of the main reasons I
I
brought
love
this
Emil.
was just because I wanted to see if Caden could find any faults in this.
No,
I
I know Emil, and he is. I'll put it this way: when I am learning new terrain techniques, I'm generally taking pictures of stuff Emil has built. Yeah, no, he is an insane builder. I love his terrain work. He's got a lot more like structure going on with this one.
Well, I was going to say that's why I brought this, because the terrain work is very minimal.
Yeah.
It's really just spilled snow.
Yep.
And
yeah. No, his use of snot techniques though is very well done.
If you only knew how many times, like, I was looking at this before I was bringing it, before I realized that the train track isn't really a train track, like it's tiles laid sideways.
Yep.
Oh,
He
wow.
offsets with jumpers. Yeah. Yep.
Because I was like, how did he get that white track piece in there? And like over here, and then I started realizing, I was like, wait a minute, that is actually brick built train track.
Yep. Yeah. No, that is that's an aesthetic of his that I very much enjoy. His snot work, and not even just with like stuff like that, but on most of his builds, he likes to employ a lot of very intricate snot work.
He's definitely one of the best builders when it comes to the military section of things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this is just a bunch of pictures of his build. Like, even that right there, where it shows the sandbags, like, falling down.
Yeah. Yep. I will say, on the topic of the sandbags, like, the types of equipments and things, sandbags, crates, things like that, when they match colors that you're using for terrain,
Right here.
well, like that, but even like on Hacksaw, like I had all the reddish brown down by the aid station, but I also had a ton of reddish brown crates. Like sometimes you have to be careful with that because it can kind of like misconstrue what the purpose of like one or the other is.
That's why you should head to Panzer Brick Labs and buy crates that are printed.
Shameless plug. I like it.
Shameless plug.
Show the quality by Arm and Panzer Brick.
No, but like, here's a perfect example of that. The reddish brown here
Yeah.
just blends in with this, but when it has printing on it, it makes it
Well,
look
it
nice.
it does, but I think in that essence, like you have wooden crates and you have what would have been like a wooden boxcar. Like that's different than having a reddish brown crate next to like reddish brown terrain that's supposed to be like mud or... But yeah, no, I see your point.
I really like his use of colors. This right here, this picture is a great picture of reddish brown. Dark red does not always mean dark red. There's like 3 different colors dark red could be.
Yeah.
And in this picture, you see all 3 of them.
Arm goes, good insert. Thank you, Richard.
Well, the funny thing is I just bought some more because like I placed an order from the new wave drop, and I was sitting here looking at pictures, and I was like, crap, I need to buy some barrels because in the mock there's a bunch of places that have like wine barrels outside, and I was like, they're gonna look great if they're printed, and I was like, I need to go get some more barrels. So I went and I hit them up. I was like, hey, might as well get these. It's $9.51. Can I start another bag?
I don't
You
know.
building the pearl?
Yeah, this is what I'm at so far. I'm gonna stop.
Good gosh.
Yeah, the coolest thing about this thing so far. Let me
I want
see what
that.
else I have. That was it anyway.
Oh, those windows are nice. Carry on.
This you can turn these knobs on the back.
Move the cannons.
Yeah,
That's
That's
awesome.
pretty sick.
Except for your one door's not closing.
it's because it gets stuck on the ladder.
Yeah.
The angle of the front of this right here, the bow, how that's done, and then this part right here is pretty crazy for a ship.
It's very sensual hand movements there, sir.
Very, very beautiful. The ship. It's a kid show. I gotta go.
Nah, I'm pretty sure that every time I do this, I click the not for kids. How big is this bag? Oh, we're definitely doing this. There's like 10 pieces in this bag.
I don't know. I'm going to the Lego store next Wednesday and getting all kinds of stuff.
You need to get this set.
I don't actually. That's probably
What-
the set that I'm definitely not getting.
What's
we're
next
after
Wednesday?
Gizmo.
I'm picking up everything that I'm currently missing from June, July, and August waves, and I'm picking up the Death Star.
I'm gonna let you know right now, you're letting me down. You would rather own the Death Star than this.
Yes, I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than I am a Pirates of the Caribbean fan. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna build the Death Star?
Not immediately, seeing as there is not currently real estate. There's also probably not real estate for the box either, but I'm gonna figure that out after the fact.
Ceiling tiles.
That's probably the vibe because I still have everything from January, March, and May yet to be built, plus the Ewok Village and everything else I picked up at Brick Fair, and the Nebulon B that some guy sold me.
That nice guy.
Definitely, yeah, super nice guy.
You got
So
ripped
I
off.
have all
I
of
did
that,
get robbed.
and I'm picking up 12 sets, including the Death Star.
Good night.
Well, so because I need.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, wait a minute now.
so it's the Plo Koon's microfighter, the K2SO, the battle droid with Stap, the MTT, the turbo tank, the V19, the 327th battle pack, the UCS ATST.
Look at the angle.
What's the other one?
I need to buy the UCS Django.
The Jango Fett Starfighter, the play scale one, and then Death Star, TIE Fighter GWP, and then whatever the other GWP is.
Well, don't you need a Jango Fett minifig to go with it?
I think for the UCS Jango Fett Starfighter, yes. That's what Richard's talking about. So the Death Star has the TIE Fighter GWP, and then whatever their other current, just like general GWP is.
No. I'm saying, but don't you need a Jango Fett?
No, I don't. I honestly, the Slave 1 UCSs don't really do it for me.
We were going through minifig pieces and parts over the weekend and stumbled on a Jango Fett legs. I went, oh, that's cool. I wonder if we have the torso. Tori said, show me what it looks like. I showed it to her and she went over there and found the torso. I went, wonder if we got the head. Yep. Well, do we have the helmet? Yep. So that made that day worthwhile. $230 minifig.
Yeah. It's K today's throwing shade now. He said it's effing wild. The Black Pearl's a better buy. It doesn't surprise me coming from a beardless man. Respect your opinion, though. I don't know. I like, as much as people are hating on the Death Star, I think the biggest argument that I've seen is that like and not that I'm justifying it, but that like everybody when they revealed or when they rumored we were getting a UCS Death Star like instantly in their head knew what they wanted it to be. And then the second that it wasn't exactly that, everyone hated it.
So I agree with you 100% there. My biggest thing is UCSs are meant to be a display piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not meant to play with.
This,
For sure.
in my opinion, is nothing but
A dollhouse.
the exact same play scale set that we got in a bigger form. It's all the same rooms; they're just in a different layout. Like it's the exact same thing.
So I will say for me personally, and probably one of the only reasons that I'm getting it is because as much as I love like the big UCS, so like I have the Venator right now, I have the X-Wing and the TIE Interceptor yet to be built, and then I'm picking up the ATST. Like I like the big display like vessel models, but I also was a really big fan of the dioramas and like being able to, because I mean, you know, I enjoy displaying stuff with figures and like telling the stories of stuff with figures. So being able to have the Death Star and then display it with all the scenes from all the movies with all the figures, like I think that's what I'm looking forward to getting out of it. Plus two, like the way I'm thinking through my display, like I have the Death Star, above it I have the Star Wars logo, the TIE Interceptor, and the X-Wing, and then I have like all the dioramas around it, or all the other dioramas around it.
Do you have the other play scale Death Star?
No.
Do you have the Death Star 2?
No.
See, I think the Death Star 2 is a lot better.
I mean, I don't disagree. And I think if I wanted
Death Star 2?
If I wanted a Death Star, what?
You want to buy the Death Star 2?
From who? From you? No.
It won't have any minifigures, just the parts in the instruction book.
It doesn't come with minifigs.
Also true. I also just bought Vader's meditation chamber from him, so.
Yeah, and it did come with figs, did it not?
It did. Oh, well.
Man, wish
I don't know how many
that.
that's it came with. I found 2 in there. Is it just the 2?
It's just the officer and then the
And
Vader.
Darth Vader? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But yeah, like I would love to, like, I don't know. I think, honestly, 100% truth, had they released it and it was a full sphere like the Death Star 2, I would have bought it too. But I also think that the fact that it was rumored at $1,000, if they had just done a full dome of a similar scale to the Death Star 2 or slightly bigger, it would have been a lot harder to justify that $1,000 price point, even with like big wedge plates, without like increasing the like substance of it in some sense. Whereas like this, like obviously you're getting a lot in the sense of, I mean, you're getting almost 40 figures. Well, I mean, technically you are getting 40 figures when you add the GWP. But between that and then like all of the displayable, you know, I do think it would have been better served as a Master Builder series rather than an Ultimate Collector series. But I think that branding has kind of gone back and forth over the years anyway. So,
well, that's a lot of people said that, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think exactly what you just said, that they haven't found which one that they think sounds better.
yeah, like the last Master Builder series that I remember being like was the Echo Base one. And it was like it was a UCS set, but it was a play set. Which like,
but that one was nothing but a bunch of like battle packs put together.
Yes, it was a collection of battle packs stuck together. I spent the money on that. And I wish I never would have got it.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, I like everybody's been hating on the Death Star, and like I get it, where people are coming from. They're like, yeah, it's $1,000. I'm like, yeah, but I also like, if I didn't have the amount of points that I have right now, I probably wouldn't be buying it.
So that's what I did with this. Was I had, with gift cards and points, I had $600 to buy the Death Star.
Yeah.
And 600 in points and then the $100 gift card. Instead, I got this and left the rest of the points alone. So I still have $300 in points. 300.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna flip all of my points, and then like all of my under the table cash from working the farmers markets, like throw all that at it, and I literally, I mean, this is how Lego math works. I'm getting to get the Death Star for like 200, but then between that and like everything else I'm picking up, I'm recouping like 14,000 points. So I'm making back a solid chunk of what I'm gonna flip, which I'll then just fold into everything that I pick up next year, and so on and so forth. But
There isn't. I don't know of anything that's coming out this wave that I am interested in buying.
yeah, there's a few rumored for January for the Star Wars wave that I'm waiting for pictures, but the summer wave, like outside of the fact that every set in the summer wave was like outlandishly overpriced, they're solid sets, and I'm only picking them up now because it's like I'm gonna get points for them. A, B, I want to have them before the new year because I don't want to be like that behind on my wanted list. So like that'll get me caught up for the year, and then I can kind of start fresh in January.
My wanted list isn't even on Lego's website. It's on, like, I've got to get caught up on like some Panzer stuff. There is a I'm caught up with, which I think me and you both are caught up on, Lando's figs. You got the recent one, right?
Chesty,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Got that one.
sure did. He's rock chill.
I gotta build another case to put. I've got like 6 minifigs that are just sitting out that I need to put in the new case.
Yeah, I need another one of these. These hold 72. I've got 15 spots left, but I have at least I think 27 figures currently on vignettes. So if those vignettes ever come out of circulation, I need another minifig thing. But they also, I mean, well, I won't spoil anything, but in chatting with Evan, I'm gonna need some more minifig display space in the next couple of months.
Oh, with what they're releasing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I think it's about to get hot and heavy.
But
well,
It is
I know the island they're working on now, and the next island they're working on is one that I want to do vignettes for. So, yeah, it's gonna be like that.
because if
So
you're not
changing the
asleep,
topic.
you're
What?
Changing the topic, the elephant in the room of us Bricklink people. Did you guys get your logins fixed yet?
Mine,
Yeah.
mine was.
switched over easily.
So me and Cajun AFOL were talking. I did the switch and everything was like, or the what you call it, combined
Merge.
combination. Everything went perfect. The only thing is I realized that all my points were gone.
Oh, I didn't check Lego's website. I was more worried about Bricklink.
So I looked on my Lego point card. The point cards are still there, and if you messed around and went to like go spend the Lego reward points, they were there. But if you looked for them, it's like in the main thing. It said they didn't exist. I started chatting with somebody that worked there, and she was like, "Let me see what I can do. Something that went wrong. Blah 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 blah," and immediately was like, "Done," and they popped up.
Yeah, I haven't done mine yet, but I probably should.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Do it before you need it,
Yeah.
because some people are having some problems. We didn't have a problem. We were transitioned pretty early. Like we were in the very first wave of the very first hour, and it went pretty well. But we've got some customers that are still bitching about it.
Yeah.
But it is that time. Y'all got anything going on this week?
Getting caught up
Yeah,
work.
so Richard's taking us out to dinner, I heard.
I can do that. I do owe y'all. I'll make you a deal. Meet us. Me and Haley are going out by ourselves Saturday. You tell me where you want me to meet y'all Friday and bring like 10 of those head things.
All right, what is today? So it's Wednesday. We have time to make that many?
Yeah.
Okay.
But didn't you have something Friday?
Friday we got Chestnut at 10, Charlie and Bingo at 2.
Oh, so it's just the dogs.
Just the dogs.
We'll make it happen.
I thought you guys were going to play bingo. I want to go.
Well, you can tell who the old person is. He perked up. Which for anybody in the chat that doesn't know, if you ever go play bingo, the old people that are there take
violent.
it very serious.
Oh yeah, get
That
beat
is
with
like-
a cane.
That's the Super Bowl. That's the like top of the top. You know, the PGA Tour. That is what you're going to go for, and they do not care, and they will call you out.
Yeah.
You ever been stabbed with a ink dauber?
No, but
Hurt.
I
Wow.
went to a bingo thing one night because there is one up here in the town I'm in, and they do it every Friday. And the woman sitting next to us was like joking and laughing and telling us, you know, oh, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, and be prepared for this. And I was all excited, like, you know, this is about to be fun. And like the minute that it dropped and was about to start, she was like, and there is no games you need to know. She was like, if you do not think you have bingo, don't call out bingo.
No.
She's like, we don't need to hear that. I was like, oh, okay. Like, what happened to the nice one that I was just talking to?
Yeah.
Somebody called bingo before her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get kind of violent.
I hadn't gotten that old yet.
Yeah.
Yet. You're right. Yet it's around the corner.
I'm not saying that, Tori.
I can. It's around the corner. No.
But I still now I went when was that, Sunday and got the boxes. I will be continuing sorting. I have continued to make a little bit of progress on designing some things for the mock like I was talking about. I showed at the first part of this video, well no, before we went live, I'm actually about to take a picture of it now. I have many sets of figs for a mock that is coming. Well, a vignette. Sorry, maybe that's what we need to do. When you coming on again? We need to have this discussion.
When you want me?
You tell me.
How many
Yeah, I'll get
studs is
back to
it
you.
gonna be?
Do what?
How many studs long and wide is it gonna be?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Then it's not a
So-
vignette.
If you start counting in base plates, it's not a vignette.
If you don't know off the top of your head, it's not a vignette.
So it just depends. Like I've got some things planned out. As far as like,
I'm gonna urge you to try like whatever vignette you're gonna do it freeform.
yeah, that's what me and
Yeah.
you talked about. That's why I asked if you had some type of style that you started with, since mine is going to be like in a collaboration with yours. Or do
I
I,
do
just
have a style, and you have saved pictures of all of them.
yeah, but I just didn't know if I needed like a certain size or a certain what.
You can do whatever you want. And I'm gonna work on slowly designing this other one. Once Hacksaw's I just posted the Korean War one today. Once I get Hacksaw torn down, I'm gonna start the 2 big builds, and then I'll start playing with the UO one after that.
Well, the only thing I need to know from you, honestly, and you can send it to me in a message, is I need to know color palette of what, and what
Sure.
your tree looks like so it matches.
Okay. Yeah, we can have that conversation.
All right. But other than that, it's time to
Lots
end
of
this.
dark tan and olive green, Richard. Lots of dark tan and olive green.
Well, I've got
Ironically enough, not for this.
yeah. It's
Really?
we got to use dark gray,
Black.
black,
Yeah.
which
Dark
I've
brown.
not done sorting yet.
Yeah.
You must be talking about something else then.
Yeah, really.
What?
The vignette you're doing.
Talking about Iwo Jima.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the other. Apparently not a vignette.
Fallujah.
Yeah.
That's well, see, that goes back to the thing. What is considered a vignette? Because that's just going to be 2 48 paste plates, but it's going to be deep.
That's not a
Because-
vignette.
That's not a vignette.
That's a
Okay.
diorama. There's a
Well,
difference.
whatever. because I don't want it to be one because the vehicle takes up more space than I need.
Yeah, that's a diorama.
Which found out, ironically, I've been trying to get these LAVs from George, and a buddy of mine let me know that I actually have the instructions and everything to do to LAVs here.
Nice.
Oh, bricks in the sand.
That's the old one, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Then I need what you have.
we'll talk. I've got to make a shipping run. I got Sam a bunch of stuff when I was in Pearl Harbor. So
Because I got what's his name? His mind, Matt, has sent me pictures, and I have matched uniforms that he agrees with. Doesn't agree with the company, but he agrees that the uniforms match. So I've got things coming.
well, he would be the expert.
He would. I've even I'm gonna do a joke that now I am brought in on. There will be a piece of rebar.
Yes.
But I would like to thank everybody for hanging out. Next week we'll be back. As far as I know, there's no guest next week.
Not that I can recall.
I don't remember one.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
there
might be free next week.
So, Caden, if you want to come back next week.
That's what, the first?
Yes.
And I won't be on the 8th.
Yeah, you won't be on the 8th.
I won't be on the 8th either. I have my lug meeting that night, but I could be potentially on next week. I'll look at my calendar.
All right, I'll put up let's roll on a poll. See if you want to do next talk about buildings or minifig placement, or if y'all want to do
placement, or if we want to dive into a specific type of like terrain work, like rock work or trees or something like that.
Or what's the difference between a vignette, a mock, or a
diorama?
diorama?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bulldozer.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. Peace.
Yeah. Clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top. Custom sets, landscapes, got a shop. Tunes drop, make the